Good evening, I'm Jasmine Durachi. Tonight, the Pullman City Council approves rezoning for new condos.
And I'm Murrow with an in-depth look at stalking on campus.
Plus, Jennifer Power has updates on the new businesses from the new construction. Murrow News 8 starts now.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is Pullman's only nightly newscast. This is Murrow News 8.
WSU has generally seen a decrease in crime over the last few years. However, some crime on campus has increased, and I reached out to a local student affected by this. The National Council for Home Safety and Security ranked Washington State University 5th in the nation for safest college campuses. But things are changing, and in just 1 year, Wazoo dropped 30 places. The question being asked is what could have led to this dramatic drop? Records show an increase in crime reports and arrests contributing to this drop, even without including those crimes that go unreported or unprocessed.
95% of them are being tweeted about. This is really kind of frustrating for us as police because the tweets are definitely causing a concern.
While safety is a concern for students on campus, sometimes the danger doesn't always appear obvious.
He would kind of just say things that would just put me off a little bit, where I'm like, oh, okay, like nobody who's just a friend like thinks that or says that out loud.
What started out as a friendship based on coincidental scheduling quickly turned into unwanted harassing and an eventual stalking situation.
And I started not showing up to classes, and then the classes I would show up to, such as labs, he would wait outside the class for me. Like, I remember one time I stayed, it was a lab, and it was that nighttime, I stayed the whole other lab, which was like 2.5 hours, just because he stood outside the whole time. I would have to have someone come get me, like any class I had with him, I would sit until the other class. Like, it became like I was paranoid.
The state of Washington defines stalking as intentional and repeated harassment, placing the person being stalked in fear that a reasonable person in the same situation would experience. And the stalker knows, or reasonably should know, that the person is afraid or intimidated, even if not intentional.
I made it clear that I didn't want anything to do with him and that he was scaring me.
And even when a victim establishes a boundary, sometimes the lines aren't so clear for law enforcement.
One, it's a hard crime to understand. It's a hard crime to investigate.
And from 2016 to 2017, incidences of stalking increased on Washington State University's campus 100%. And to this day, they even continue to increase.
It got to a point where it was affecting my grades. And that's when I reached out to my teachers to let them know, like a heads up, like there's something going on. I don't feel comfortable in class.
After talking to her professors about what was happening, and because Washington State University's staff are mandatory reporters, Ryan was referred to the Office for Equal Opportunity on campus.
Their biggest recommendation was contacting the police.
Heeding their advice, Ryan contacted Pullman PD, but the response she got was anything but expected.
And this was the worst part of it all. The cop, I showed him all the messages, I told him all the stories, and his biggest reply was just, "You never said no." That's when I felt the most vulnerable, and that's when I was the most attacked. That's when I was the most blamed by the police of all people.
And while police have said that most of these crimes are being posted about on social media but not actually reported, Ryan says she can understand why.
But I understood why people are like so afraid and hesitant to come tell their stories. And this is everyone's biggest fear in coming out, like, is people not believing them.
Ryan says she still feels the effects of this trauma to this day.
And there's a person who works here at the apartments I live in who like blows leaves every morning, and I'm so terrified it's him. I literally sit in my car.
And while this has shaped not only her college experience, but her life, she has not let it define her. Her one piece of advice for people in these situations:
the more open we are about it, the better we'll feel, the better we will protect ourselves and everyone else around us.
If you or someone you know ever feels unsafe, contact the Office for Equal Opportunity at 509-335-8288. Reporting from Pullman, Emma Jerome, Murrow News 8.
E-cigarette company Juul plans to reduce its social media presence and halt retail sales in order to restrict their access to minors. The CEO of Juul, Kevin Burns, made the statement in response to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration's announcement that they would investigate major e-cigarette makers and review their sales and marketing practices. Third-party users create more than 99% of their social media-related content. To combat this, the company will delete their Facebook and Instagram accounts and only post non-promotional content on Twitter. Burns hopes that they will develop a technology that can monitor the ages of buyers online in the future. Jennifer Power has information on the new construction in Pullman, and I'm hearing another coffee shop could get built.
Plus, Matt King has our ever closer winter weather forecast. Yeah, it's cold.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it! I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
The great outside.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
So shiny.
We both love the outdoors.
That's not a flower.
And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play or even what you wear. You just need to be there. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
New businesses will come to Pullman in the very near future. Jennifer, where and when will these businesses pop up?
Across the street from Safeway. Well, this will become the new site for commercial lots to move into very soon. The city of Pullman set up Bishop Boulevard for commercial development and received a loan from the state to ensure the road could serve as a commercial corridor.
We set that corridor up with commercial zoning, which would accommodate all manner of commercial development, and it's kind of one of those build it and they will come scenarios where once we established that, we saw different groups come in and want to develop there.
Proposed plans for the lots include a new Starbucks and car wash. The Starbucks will take approximately 2,100 square feet and will feature a drive-through and will be less congested than the Starbucks on Stadium Way because the drive-through will be separate from the parking area. The car wash will take approximately 4,600 square feet of the lot and will be a full-scale car wash that will wash, wax, and dry vehicles.
The weather gets a little warmer in the spring. Construction will begin again and continue through the construction season. The construction is expected to be complete in the summer of 2019 if everything goes as planned.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Also in Pullman, the City Council approved a new ordinance to rezone land on campus to make room for new condos. Corporate Point LLC applied for 3.6 acres of land across from the Marriott in Pullman. Before City Council's approval, they expressed concerns about enough space for parking, but parking doesn't affect zoning issues and did not affect the final decision.
The Moscow Adjustment Board rejected a communication tower proposal near the Church of Nazarene in Moscow. In a unanimous vote from 14 members of the public, they voted against the conditional use of the permit for the tower. The tower would improve signal quality, improve internet speeds, and also improve potential new subscribers. The residents who spoke against the tower mostly believed it would affect aesthetic, property value, and health concerns from the radiation.
Well, are you ready for some snow?
Definitely not very coordinated, but I'm probably going to have to get used to it. Matt King joins us in the Weather Center to track the snow flurries on the border of Canada. Will they reach Pullman?
You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Well, a lot of students will head home for this weekend for the break.
And if you're like me, you'll drive all the way back to Pullman for the football game.
Matt King joins us to tell us what those students can expect for their drive home and the weather for the game. Matt, what's it going to be like?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just going to be staying for the game too. Very excited for this one, but late kickoff, and that means low temperatures. Today it's about 41 degrees right now. We got up to 48, an average of 44, which is way better than what we saw this weekend. It was staying in the 30s most of the time, so I stayed inside, stayed bundled up, stayed warm. And also we got a little bit of winds, 7 miles an hour out of the southwest, so not too bad, no power outage, hopefully. Going into the rest of the state for today, Spokane sat about the same, 44 degrees, a low of 31. Everyone saw clouds. We were 48 with a low of 32. Then Wenatchee saw 35 degrees, a low of 32. They were really cold. They even saw some hail. They had to start their cars early this morning. And then as we move towards the middle of the state, Yakima, 42 degrees, a low of 30. Again, staying right there with the clouds, same as us. But as we got to the west side, we saw more rain, higher temperatures though. Seattle saw 54 degrees, a low of 48, with some showers throughout the day. Olympia was the same, 52 degrees, a low of 41. Plenty of showers over there. And then when we got down to Vancouver, a high of 50 degrees and a low of 40, they also saw showers. Showers all over the west side today. Tomorrow morning will be about 39 degrees, so you're going to still want to wear a jacket. We are seeing stuff in the 40s, but still not enough to where you're going to want to go without your jacket. In the afternoon, we might get up to 49 degrees. That's going to be really nice. As we get up close to 50, it's going to be much nicer than what we've seen before. And then the 5-day forecast. For Friday, a high of 46 degrees and a low of 27. We're going to get really cold. And then the rest of the week's looking very similar. Back to the desk.
Thanks so much, Matt. Well, you know, we keep hearing about all the snow, but imagine never experiencing that in your whole life.
For some child refugees, they finally got that magical experience. Cutest story ever when we return.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Let it snow. These young African refugees experienced their first snow in Canada today. How precious. Once they saw it outside their window, the brother and sister rushed outside to twirl in the winter wonderland. Toronto resident Rebecca Davies posted the video to social media and received millions of views and shares. She currently hosts a family of 5 from the East African country of Eritrea, which contains one of the most repressive regimes in the world. Even the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau retweeted it. That seriously made my whole day watching that.
So adorable. I remember my first snow.
No, when I saw it on Twitter, I literally could not get enough. I think I replayed it like 4 or 5 different times. Cutest video of the week.
It's just such a beautiful thing to see.
Thanks so much for watching, you guys. You can catch us every weeknight at 7 and 10 p.m.
And don't forget to follow Murrow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter.
I want to wish a happy anniversary to my mom and dad. Good night, Pullman.